The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, the Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm honored to have my technical assistant, Mr. Dion Delancey, joining me here on Freedom March. Mr. Delancey, welcome to Freedom March.
Yes, Mr. Monker, Senator Monker, how are you?
I am fine. Well, Labor Day has gone, but it was a glorious occasion, and I have been excited ever since, even though I must confess that I'm still angry. I'm still angry, but praise the Lord, the people, the working class people, they took to East Street and they marched through Bay Street, and I was excited to see that Her Majesty's loyal opposition, the Progressive Liberal Party, was there and in full form. In fact, I gave the leader of Her Majesty's opposition and the interim leader of the Progressive Liberal Party an A+. I was so pleased as I saw thousands of my people, the Negro people, marching. And from all indication, it is clear that the Progressive Liberal Party is in top fighting form. And I think there might be one or two more things that I have to do with them so that I can now, sit back and watch the party in opposition as I make up my mind whether or not I should formally join them or just stay with my party, the F&M. Because don't forget now, we got government. And I'm not sure if I should walk away from government.
But it's the people's time, you know.
What time is it?
It's the people's time.
It is the people's time. And guess what? The House of Assembly meets tomorrow.
Yeah.
Isn't tomorrow Wednesday?
Yes, it is.
It is. And that is when they're going to debate the budget, I think.
Yeah.
So this is powerful. And, of course, my producer, since I can't see the clock, you better tell me if I should continue to run on. Well, I'm being told continue to run on. But I shall continue to run on. Okay, this is powerful. Look, folks, I'm angry. There's some things on my mind. And slowly, I'm hoping and I'm praying that I could feel much better because I'm very disappointed in the government. And there's a bunch of things on my mind, okay? A lot of things on my mind, but I thank God for Labor Day and the fact that the Progressive Liberal Party did a wonderful job. I also want to thank the many people as I march with the Progressive Liberal Party on Labor Day. They saluted me, and they saluted Freedom March. And I want the woman them to know that I'm going to soon be calling the First Man Woman Conference. This is a woman conference which is going to be led by man because it is the people's time. And from what I saw on East Street, I believe that the women them are ready. So this is Freedom March. Sit back, relax. I'm going to be right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live here on ILTV in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and I'm joined in studio by one of my good friends and assistant, Mr. Dion Delancey. Dion, welcome once again to Freedom March.
Thank you, sir.
Now, of course, we will be streaming live on iltv.com, and I shall also be sharing it on my Facebook page. Well, Friday, the 2nd of June, was Labor Day, and hundreds of workers turned out to march. But this Labor Day parade was not as large as it was last year or the year before. I don't know what was going on among the Junkanoo groups. The Saxon, they did not rush as they have done in the past, nor did the Wally boys. But at the end of the march, downtown Bay Street, they seem to have had some kind of rush out and some kind of excitement. I'm not sure what is going on. I don't know if the Saxon and the Valley boy have really boycotted it over the fact that the PLP lost the general election. Now, that is not necessarily the case. But this is what happened in a world when people do not offer an explanation. You leave others to speculate. But if the Saxon came out and issued a statement during that period, or perhaps now, they and the Valley boy setting clearly out, Brother Delancey, why they were not participating, then the speculation would be ended.
Yeah.
Because I had been advised that there was some kind of dispute over the fact that they thought that water ought to have been provided for them. Well, water is very important. I don't know.
But it's just water. Buy water and go.
Yeah, well, you know, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it is unfortunate that they did not participate in the manner that I am usually, you know, expect them to do. However, I was pleased with the performance of the Progressive Liberal Party. And for many of you, you might want to find out why. Well, I'll tell you why. You see, in the parliamentary system that we, the Negro inheritors of these rocks and keys, are, you know, used to, you need both the governing party and the opposition to participate in the democracy. Because at the top of the poem is the Free National Movement. And then underneath the Free National Movement is the official opposition. It is like a safety net should the F&M collapse. And then, of course, if Brian McCartney isn't punch drunk, him and the DNA, well, it will be the F&M, the PLP as the first safety net, and below the PLP would be the second safety net. So, for me, as a citizen, it was very important for me to see the PLP participating in the Labor Day parade. Because the PLP has to remember that it got approximately 60,000 votes. That's plenty of people. And as I marched with them, many of the Negro people were giving me the crab sign. They were giving me all kinds of signal. They were telling me that notwithstanding that they were not conspicuously identified, there they were showing me lots of crab. I mean, all I saw was crab. Crab A, crab B, lots of crab. And so it was exciting to see all that crab. All right? I don't know if you had an opportunity to really watch all of the crowds that was there, but they were there, and it was exciting. I was happy to see that the official opposition was not demoralized, because this ain't no sissy game, you know.
No, not at all.
This a man game, all right? You got to have strong heart, and your heart must not only be strong, everything about you must be strong. Your legs must be strong, because it calls for marching. So I'm pleased, all right? I am pleased. That's the first thing. I'm pleased with the performances of the opposition. I only had one regret. The march was not long enough. And I look forward to seeing future marches, you know. I think the PLP need to march around Nassau, you know, march around the island, but it was exciting, and I'm pleased, and I want to salute the women them for being faithful. I thank women who showed up in solidarity with the workers and who supported my clarion call to step now. And that's what this is all about. So I'm excited about it. And I have to do one or two little shout out. Now, I got to shout out to the woman them. I'm hearing things. It's like, what's going on? It's like I'm hearing things
In your head.
in my head. I think I know what is taking place.
What's that?
I am being possessed by the Spirit. And I'm always possessed by good Christian spirit. And so I want to salute some of the women then. And then, of course, I want to start off by saluting one or two men. So I'll start off where I run into a Negro male by the name of Donnie Bin. And I have to appeal to management because Donnie has confessed. I hope this confession was not designed for me to reveal. But Donnie has confessed that he has to get home early so that he can join us here on Freedom March. So Donnie, we salute you. You are a great Negro male, and I hope management will continue to permit you to leave home so that you can join us on Freedom March. I also want to salute a Negro male who is known as Plywood. And when he told me his name, Brother Delancey, was Plywood, I said, listen, I need some plywood because my roof is leaking.
Oh boy.
So plywood.
It's still leaking?
It's still leaking. But it's the people's time. What time is it?
The people's time.
It's the people's time. And so Plywood, who's also known as Hotspot. Plywood, you are a wonderful Negro man, but I'm concerned over Hotspot and Plywood.
Like, where these names just come from?
Sound like you gonna soon catch a fire. So I salute you. And then, of course, I want to salute a wonderful Negro lady, Janet, what Janet's name is? Janet Munning Seymour. Listen, you are wonderful, and I'm happy that you are one of the women there. I met her at the Labor Day Parade. And then, of course, there's Rosemary Thompson. Rosemary Thompson, Derica Gibson, Albanique Blair, Teresa Capron, Delanor Sanders. Listen, I was pleased to see you ladies and gentlemen participating in the Labor Day Parade. And then there's a Negro woman who confessed today. I'm suspicious, but I have to accept her word. She said that she's one of the women them. Sister Lynette Taylor. Listen, I'm pleased that women are openly confessing. But I'm going to test you. All right? I'm not going to lead no woman who don't show up. But she's a wonderful woman, and I salute her. Now, you would recall that on Thursday, I drew to your attention the scandal taking place at the Aaron Bailey Senior High School and the Yellow Elder Primary School. And I give you a story of a trade unionist, the late Dudley Williams. And I told you of his struggle to stop that kind of what I call Negro corruption. Well, as I marched with the PLP and I got on Bay Street, I decided this was a good opportunity to show off, so I asked the PLPs if I may help in lifting the banner. And by grab, they said yes. And as I lift the banner, a Negro male said, "Monka, come, my ma wants to see you." So I told the PLP, "Y'all hold on to the banner, I'll be right back." And I was excited that the young man, whom I've known from he was a little boy, he said, "Listen, I'm the son of the late Dudley Williams, and my mom, she got all kind of phone calls telling us to quickly turn on to ILTV, channel 224. There you were praising and saluting my late father." And so I spoke to Mrs. Dudley Williams, and I said to her, "Listen, when did your husband die?" And she said he died in 1999. So I told you it was about 30 years, but I was 13 years off. So actually, it's 18 years, right? Yeah. So, Mrs. Dudley Williams, listen, I was happy that you were pleased when all the people them told you of the good things that I was saying about your husband. He was a great, great trade unionist, and he was a nation builder. So I was happy that as I marched, there were citizens who were well pleased with the important information that we here at Freedom March has been providing. So that is exciting, and the PLP needs not make a mistake that Branville and the DNA made with me, and I walked away. Branville had promised me in 2011 that almost every month the DNA will have a march. But Branville them turned out to be, you know, they didn't like the hot sun. You know, Branville is a light-skinned Negro. And then, of course, Chris, while he was a Negro, he was used to air condition.
Wow.
And they didn't like to march. And I look at them, and I suck my teeth. And when they wasn't looking, I slipped through the back door. So I'm looking for a party to align with who will march consistently on important social and political issues, because what time is it?
It's the people's time.
What time is it?
It's the people's
It's
time.
the people's time.
But the F&M already have a party, a group versus march, and we march is march, and there's F&M.
Yeah, but they don't march no more.
Wow.
You see, they don't march no more because Renard, he is now in the Honorable Senate.
Wow.
And John Bullitt, he is campaigning, trying to get his mother on Government Hill. I may talk about it, how Mrs. Janet Bosbeck, according to the political reports, she has been campaigning to become Governor General. And this perhaps may be very, very unprecedented. Never before in the history of the modern Bahamas has people been campaigning to become Governor General.
Wow.
So I don't know whether or not the Spirit will lead me to talk about it, or whether or not I should let Janet do a little bit more campaigning. So I don't know what's going on. But what time is it?
It's the people's
It's
time.
the people's time. So I just thought that I had to tell you that. I got a bunch of things on my mind. As you know, Dr. Minnis is now readying to send out some diplomats. And I want to conduct a forensic investigation because I have been quietly told about two gangsters who Minnis proposed to send away. And I don't know if gangsters should be allowed to represent the good people of the country.
No, sir.
What do you think, my brother?
No, sir. You have to be of a standard to be sent away out of the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I don't want any gangsters, but I'm thinking about it because last night I ran into a number of F&Ms who were very upset, and they don't think that I should do or say anything to cause any of my party members, you know, from going there. So I want the public to know that I'm supporting 80-year-old Oswald Marshall. I understand Marshall would like to be the Bahamas consul to Miami.
Wow.
And at 80, I can find no sense that Marshall has committed.
80.
80. Well, Marshall is a wonderful F&M.
Yes, he is. I know Marshall well.
Huh?
I know Marshall.
Don't you think at 80 we should send somebody to Florida who will not embarrass the Bahamas?
Not at all.
Now, the only thing the Americans have to be concerned about him is when they cannot find him, he might be at the horse race track. Right? And I'm concerned because as a diplomat, if the Americans were to take him to the nearest race course track, Brother Marshall could talk state secrets because he loved a horse race and a dog race. So Lisa Johnson, I think Marshall is a good Negro man, and guess what? He loves white people. So you'd be happy to have him there in Miami. So we're going to talk about those things. And then, of course, I want the world to know that I support Basil O'Brien. I'm told that the former High Commissioner to the court of King James. I understand that Basil O'Brien would like to become one of our diplomats, and I want Basil to know, listen, I have no problem of you returning to London, because I always regarded him as a King George VI Negro. There's King George III, and then there's King George VI. So I would put Basil O'Brien in the category of a King George VI Negro.
But since it's the people's time, any of your black village people you would like to see go abroad?
There is a particular Negro, but I can't call his name because he's half crazy. Listen, this is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. It's been a long holiday, and there's a state of calmness in the country. Don't mind, there has been 3 murders. I think I'm not going to talk about those murders because there's calmness, and you're going to say that I'm being unfair.
And a drowning.
But and a drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah, very tragic. 3 murders! 3 murders! 3 murders! Can you imagine it? 3 murders!
Wow.
It's so much murders. Anyway, this is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm happy to be back here. And when I return, we'll talk more about what's taking place in the country.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. And of course, my name is Rodney Monker. I've just been passed a statement that was issued by the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, Bradley Roberts. So I'm going to read it to you. And it goes like this. Reports coming to our attention of a meeting or meetings between Prime Minister Menes, his Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionancio de Aguilar, and Bahama representatives is an example of naked and arrogant conflict of interest. Mr. de Aguilar sat as a member of the board of Bahama, and without considering the fate of the Bahamian employees and contractors, voted to put the resort into Chapter 11 bankruptcy in Delaware. De Aguilar conspired with the original developer, Ismarillion, to deceive the government of the Bahamas, opposing at every turn the policy decisions of the government to have displaced workers and unsecured contractors paid, and to facilitate the completion and opening of the resort. Further, de Aguilar is on record as opposing the current owners of Bahama CTF Enterprise. Menace is on record stating that should he become prime minister, he would seize Bahama. So that is another story, another piece of scientific proof of conflict of interest, taking into consideration that Sarkis was the Aguilar boss, and notwithstanding that the Aguilar now purports to work for the government of the Bahamas, you would recall that all he and Menace argued for was who? Ismailian. So this is one of the conflict. Now, I want to be critical of the chairman of the PLP, Mr. Roberts. This statement is powerful, but it will become more powerful if it is backed by political action. All right? So, what is the PLP going to do? It can't only issue statement, because talk is cheap, but walking. So there must be talk and walk. There must be rally and sally. This opposition has to be hot. It must be willing to carry out political action. And a political statement is more powerful when it is issued while we are marching. And I need to march for health reason. All the doctors them telling me, listen, you're not active enough. You need to march. So I have a good excuse to be encouraging the PLP to march, because the doctors them say I need to march. And I need that for health reason. So you can help me. So the party has to march. And the party has to encourage all the young people who say they are PLP and that they're willing to defend the legacy of the party. It's time for political action. And those who can't march could jump on the back of the truck, or they could follow the march in a motorcade. So there must be marching and motorcading. There must be rally and sally. All right? I had a girl in Baintown. Her name was Sally. And Sally always gave me the impression that she was in love with me. And I always outsmart Sally. I said, Sally, unless you are ready to rally, don't sally. And so you got to rally. So I can give the PLP an example. Here on the island of New Providence, there is only one Negro constituency that remained faithful to the PLP for the last 50 years. What constituency is this? It is Angliston. Well, Mr. Chairman, when are we going to Angliston to thank those Negroes who stayed faithful and loyal to the PLP? So I'm proposing that there can be a motorcade all around Nassau, ending in where? Angliston. Because Angliston is a kind of Negro community that, notwithstanding their economic problems, they won't bend down. If Menace promised them Sarkis, they ain't gonna bend down. So it's no bend down in Angliston, and we have to going to Angliston. There has to be a motorcade. There has to be a march. There has to be a rally. The people of Angliston must be saluted. They must. And so the party must be active. And then after you finish with Angliston, you got to go to my ma, the place where my ma born, Exuma. So you got to go motorcade and to thank the people of Exuma. All right? You have to go there and thank them. Then when you finish with Exuma, well, Mr. Davis, you know what your constituency name. You have to go into your constituency because the PLP has a duty to thank those constituencies that remain faithful and loyal in this tidal wave that swept the PLP out of power. And that is what has to happen. There has to be political action. There has to be more marches. There must be demonstrations. And so we have to encourage. Now, I'm willing to help. I'm willing to help to organize marches and demonstrations. I'm willing. I'm willing to show the young people how to prepare the placards, how it's to be done. Because while the PLP had a wonderful march, as I observed it, there was a little bit of indiscipline on the march. And I understand what it was. So we have to encourage the young people and take advantage of the fact that I am a marching expert. I have a philosophy that I believe in, guided by a powerful principle that Pinling preached many years ago. And it has to be retaught. And what did Pinling say? Marches and demonstrations are necessary for political changes. And so there has to be marches. The party can't just sit down and don't carry out political activities. So I expect that the party will soon tell us when it is going into Angliston, and the party must bring hundreds. And then, of course, I need the party to go down in Adelaide. I think they're having a wonderful social event in Adelaide. Can you imagine if Adelaide is swarmed by 1,000 PLP supporters? And while you are there swarming Adelaide, you are participating in its local economy. Because down there will be fried fish and conch salad and other delicious Bahamian food. And you, in a very powerful way, can help to stimulate the economy. So it was powerful when I learned that the PLP had announced that it's 39 candidates. And in this case, I think the party was referring to the 35 candidates who lost. That they will become caretakers of the constituency. Well, you can't be caretakers if there is no political activity. Because it's a 5-year campaign. 5 years. And every time the government fail to live up to a promise, we take to the street and we march. Just march, march. And who do all? We put them on the back of the truck. Who got bad foot? Put them in car. And we march and we march. Because this is a period in our political history where you have to carry out political action while issuing powerful statements. And that is what I would like to see happen. Because I'm hearing all kinds of things. And I ask some top PLP official to please give me access to them because I'm hearing things. I've not been blessed to have in my possession a copy of the budget. So I need someone to tell me if the rumors that I'm hearing are true. Because I do not want to be manipulated and come on TV and give bogus information. Because I'm hearing all kinds of things. I'm hearing that, what the man named, the wash house man, who's now Minister of Tourism. I'm hearing that he's going to be getting lots of concession. And I'm not surprised, because don't forget, this is a government of conflict. So I need to sit down. I need access to this budget so I could see what they're doing and if it is truly a budget that is going to put our people first. So we need plenty political action. And while I'm at it, I want to congratulate Bradley Roberts. And I asked the PLP, as you go through leadership transformation, I'm opposed to Bradley not remaining as chairman. I want him to remain as chairman. There was something unique that I discerned from him as I stood nearby and observed his leadership qualities. So I want the PLP not to act too premature. Don't listen to the F&M propaganda. Bradley Roberts should remain as chairman of the party, and of course, you can elect some younger vice chairmen to assist him. But that, I watched Bradley Roberts, and I was extremely pleased with his organizational skills. So let me warn you, do not move prematurely to encourage him to leave as chairman. I think he's a perfect man to remain chairman. While I stood nearby, I observed other people in the crowd. And one of the things that I discerned, that they were extremely comfortable and felt very secure and safe in the presence of Mr. Roberts. So I think we should hold on to him. Seriously, we should hold on to him, but I look forward to doing some more marches, all right? Because over the weekend, I sat down with some people as we observe some of the miscalculation of the governing party, and we can suck it to them, suck it to them. That's what we can do. But it is only possible if you are mobilized in a very disciplined way and you are continuously carrying out political action. And you have to, taking into consideration that the F&M has 35 seats. So tomorrow, the parliament will convene. And then, as you are aware, that once these Negroes are elected to the Honorable House of Assembly, in a twinkling of an eye, they become well educated, very smart, and they become our gift. So we're going to have to watch them and to listen to them, okay? I thought I needed to point that out. Now, a couple days ago, there were some things that I said, and I checked, and there were one or two pieces of information was a little off. For instance, I accused the Minister of Labor. I said the doorknob was $38,000. No, it was a faucet. All right? And one day we'll have to ask Brother Herbert Style. He was the Negro that Dion folks somehow give the contract. And so between the contract and the faucet, some confusion over $38,000. I said knob, doorknob. No, some faucet. All right? Well, you know how it goes. If you want to give a fellow contract, there are many sophisticated ways of padding it. So I just wanted to get that piece correct because I ran into a Negro F&M who was very upset. And he said, why are you saying the doorknob? So I said, well, isn't it the doorknob? He said, no, man, it was a faucet. And I thanked him. It came back. Don't forget, I'm giving you stories that took place many, many years ago from memory. And I don't want to mislead you. So I thank the Negro F&M who pointed out that the $38,000 contract was centered around the faucet. So you see why the politics can be so fierce. the F&M, they claim they had no contract in the last 5 years. And Minis is not into austerity, because as we talk about how bad the economy is and the need to borrow $722 million, there's a bunch of cutback in expenditure that is needed. And F&Ms, I'm certain, will become extremely angry if Minis is unwilling or reluctant to give out some of these juicy contracts. And I'll give you an example. One of the things that needs to happen is the government ministers need to have a reduction in their salary, like by $10,000. Just cut the salary, all right? Because this is the people's time. In addition to that, let's look at the diplomatic service. There was a time in the history of the country when the Ministry of Tourism and the ambassador or the council representative to a foreign nation, they all occupied the same building, perhaps sharing in space, office space. So we need to cut back on it. And there are too many council. Now, I don't know if we should blame Fred Mitchell for this, because you would recall that under Fred Mitchell leadership, I think there's about 100 countries where Bahamians can now go to without visa. And that is a great achievement on the part of Fred Mitchell. But as a result of that, you now need representatives, council representatives, so that should these citizens get in any kind of, problem, or they need information, there's a representative to assist them. But we need to cut back, because as we know, Minis is getting ready. Jeffrey August Williams, he needs a council position. Oswald Marshall needs one. Then we have Sidney Colley. We hear that Sidney Colley is heading to Washington. So I'm saying to you, in these hard economic times, where the F&M is now borrowing $722 million, that is added public expense. Do we need all those Negroes to go off? Do we need them? Or shouldn't the Bahamas have, let's say, 2 diplomatic representatives in North America? I say you only really need 1. But I'm prepared to compromise on 2. 1 in Canada, and the next one is in New York. And perhaps you might need another Negro to be at the UN. So we have to find ways to cut back on public expense, because these are hard times. And perhaps the area where more resources ought to be pumped into is places like, or should I say institutions like, What's the program name that the PLP introduced? Urban renewal. So we need more money in urban renewal, more money in social service, because Mrs. Lanisha Roll, the minister responsible for social service, she's the new Mother Pratt on the blocks. She is Mother Pratt and Algernon Allen in one. All right? So she's going to need lots of money to take care of the Negro poor. So that is an area. In health, that is an area where Dr. Dwayne Sands need more money and less talk. More money, less talk. All right? Because I don't want to hear too much analysis on what the problem is. Let's solve the problem. Because what time it is? It is the people's time. And there's too much political talk. So let's give Dwayne Sands plenty money. Let's give Lanisha Roll plenty money for urban renewal. All right? Urban renewal. Social service. The Ministry of Health. More money. I think that they are some of the areas that we have to look at if we are serious about cutting back on expenditure. So let's go over it again. Minister and his cabinet will take a $10,000 cut. $10,000. Just cut the salary. $10,000. Can you imagine if each of them took a $10,000 cut? How much money that will save us? Now, I'm opposed to them getting rid of 5,000 employees, even though some Negroes argue that you save $90 million. I'm opposed to that. Leave these poor black people alone and let them continue to work. But there are areas that we can introduce austerity measures. And so that is what I'm going to suggest. And if Sydney is going to New York, how much money Sydney need in New York? How much? I may have to ask Madame Sydney. Mavis Letousma, combien l'argent Sydney besoin pour aller dans États-Unis? Hein? C'est pas possible pour nous, pour bourrer petit comme ça pour Sydney. Parce que en pile monde dit Sydney pas manger en pile. So I don't know what Mavis thinks. We're going to have to find that out. So I don't want my country to have him there as a diplomat if he's going to overspend. That's very important. All right? We need to make sure that we cut back. Tourism. We need to cut back on tourism. We need to cut back. How much more money you need to spend on tourism advertising the Bahamas? It's a wastage. Don't forget, in the last F&M administration, there were all kinds of allegations about stealing of the public money. You remember that? When they say some F&Ms stole some money, you remember? And then there was a massive cover-up. The PLP helped the F&M to cover up the crooks who were accused of pilfering, of stealing the money. So if we are talking about austerity, let's cut back on tourism. All right? Because it's a stupid argument. The world doesn't know about the Bahamas. What else we can tell them? So let's cut back on that. And I think that is very, very important. That is very, very important. And that's the way I see it. Let's cut back on a bunch of these things and it will be fine. All right? So tomorrow they meet and it will be interesting to see what the F&M has for the poor. Because don't forget, Minister has promised to introduce in the inner city an economic zone. And you have to hold him accountable because they are powerful money forces. The people who paid the piper, Minister's the piper, and the people who paid him, they no longer want those kind of programs to be introduced. And so those of us who are at the table, who are outside the door, knocking to get to the table, we got to push our agenda. And what is our agenda? We want the removal of VAT and duty on food. And if we are able, as a people, to pay for the food, we're halfway out of this mess. So that's what needs to happen. I think I'm going to open up the line early when I come back so that I can hear what some of you are thinking. Because I haven't heard from you all, since Thursday. So we need to get ready. I want the PLP to do some more marching. I want the PLP to go into Angleton and thank them people. Will you thank the people of Angleton for standing with the party? Those things are very, very important. And so there has to be more rallies, and the caretakers must be more active in their constituency. That's all I want to say. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and I'll be right back after we pay the bills down.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live here on ILTV. And my name is Rodney Monker. I'm a member of the Holy Roman Catholic faith, and of course, I'm a justice of the peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Well, I've not seen my spiritual advisor since last Thursday.
Yes.
But praise the Lord, Bradley Roll. Welcome once again to Freedom March.
Thank you, Senator. It's always a pleasure to be here with you on Freedom March, an interesting brand that you have decided to bring towards the people of the Bahamas.
Well, I thank you.
Freedom March.
I have not seen you over the long holiday.
Oh, yeah.
How has it been?
It was a long, hot, busy holiday.
Wow. Was your light off?
Well, I spent so much time away from home, I couldn't tell.
Well,
I don't know.
it is interesting what BPL has done. BPL, with their no good self, they cut off the light. And when I got up this morning, the Spirit said to me, do your work now, because it is hot, and those Americans who's running BPL are grossly incompetent with their no good self.
Well, this is an issue that we've had before BEC was taken over by BPL, you know, normally during the summer, because of the high demand as far as water is concerned with electricity. BPL has been experiencing this issue for a number of years now.
But the Negro woman in charge has announced that we are not going to have this problem.
Okay.
All right? But something said to me, prepare now. And I prepared early, only for the lights to go off, wrong about midday or thereabout. I mean,
during the day, midday.
It's horrible.
Okay.
Where you'll find these no good people who can't keep light on.
Listen, I don't know if you don't use the term.
Yeah, I've just said it.
But you can't use the term no good. It's obvious that we have been challenged over the years.
They have assured the new government.
Yeah.
They told the new government they can keep the light on. Why go to America to bring incompetence to the Bahamas? America is a first world country. That's the first thing. And I expect, and I'm serious with what I'm saying, that when you go to America, you bring me qualified white people. What you bring me a bunch of incompetent people for? Huh? They cut off the light. My little fridge, they damaged that. My computer.
I understand that.
Right? And who I going to? If I go there, the F&M can say, I only complain
no.
because I didn't complain under the PLP.
No. If you do, if you experience some kind of equipment damage as a result of BEC power failure, they have a department that you can go into.
Do you know the process?
Yes, you can go and claim, and they do pay people for.
Well, they ain't do it for Jerry.
Fridge,
why they ain't do it for Jerry?
TVs and so on and so forth. You know.
Huh? I mean, where you'll find these whiteless, incompetent people. Huh? Yeah, it's hot.
BPNL has met BEC in an issue.
They assured the government. You heard what I just said?
Yeah, I understand.
Why lie?
But they've always had an equipment problem.
Why lie?
Outdated equipment.
They should have said to the new Prime Minister, we are just as incompetent now as we were when Christie was in charge.
Oh, boy.
All right? And let me warn y'all. Y'all stop cutting off my light because I pay my bill. Which in the no good self. God forgive me for calling these people no good because it might be a sin. Tout le monde haïtien. M'a gen pile problem ak BPL. Yo fermé lumière moi. And m'a pay $4,500. I paid. And they cut it off. All right? I'm lucky they ain't cut it off in the night, because when they cut it off in the night, you don't believe it. I have difficulty finding my wife. Honestly, that's get me mad. You can imagine it's dark. And you say, honey, where are you? She said, I'm right here. And all over the dark, I trying to find a woman, I can't find a woman. And I'm a very jealous man. I'm suspicious. Right? I'm suspicious. I'm jealous. Woman, where are you? She said, I'm right here. And I fail. Like, next thing I know, I fall over. Can't find the woman. You ever had that problem? Where the lights went off. And you cannot find the woman. All right? Y'all can get me in trouble because I'm jealous. And if I can't find the woman, I just can't sleep. All right? That last time they cut off the light, I watched the woman all night. I sit next to the bed. All I do in the dark, I touch. The woman say, why are you touching my head? I say, I could make sure you're here. Jesus, I'm in trouble, man. Listen, I need to find the woman. I can't find the woman in darkness.
Well, one of the other issues, of course, is that, Bama is on stream, which requires a lot of BEC's power. So, of course,
I hope they're paying.
They're going to be challenged during the summer months when people want to use their air conditioning units more than they did any other time of the year. So,
yeah, but I don't have any air conditioning, so why my light going off?
That's an issue. I
have no air conditioning.
Let's hope they correct it.
Huh?
You have Bama and Paradise Island, Atlantis.
Well, cut them off.
No, you can't do that.
How you mean it's the people's time? Under the PLP. Bahama light kept on. Under the FNM, under the PLP. Paradise Island. But by grab, it's the people's time, and I call on ministers, especially how you don't like the Chinese them, cut off their light and put me on. I have a caller?
Yes, you do.
Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Stop listening to my voice and talk to me. Talk to me once. Talk to me twice. Talk to me 3 times. Jesus of my seat. You better hang up on that person because they're not listening to me. Do I have another Negro on the phone? Hello? There's no more people. So my spiritual advisor, it was horrible. The lights were off. And nobody issued a statement to tell me why. Who's the minister responsible for BPL?
Let me see. That'll be Desmond Bannister. He's in charge of Ministry of Works and Utilities, right?
You sure it's Desmond?
Yeah, man. Works and Utilities, yeah.
You sure it ain't the Prime Minister?
No, I don't think so.
It's Desmond.
Yeah, Desmond Bannister is responsible for Ministry of Works and Utilities.
Well, Desmond, listen. You better cut them light on and keep them on because every time I curse you out and I run into your mama, she say, I must stop cursing you out because you are her child. And I don't want to upset your mommy. Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monica. How you doing?
I am angry. The lights, the current
Don't get angry, man. Stop getting angry. You're 60 years old, man.
I'm not 50. I'm 60.
Yeah, you're 60 years old now.
Okay. What's on your mind?
I want $5,000 come out of every MP salary.
Okay.
A year's salary would be $195,000, and you calculate that by 5 years, that's $975,000, and they could find out that's the way they could cut the VAT for the poor people in their bread basket and get their money back.
Now, you sure your maths is good? Because I was never good at counting money.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
5,000 times 39 is $195,000 a year, and you calculate that by 5, you get $975,000 in 5 years.
Wow.
That's enough to take the VAT off the bread basket for the poor people.
Are you willing to march to Parliament to tell them that?
How much marching you want me to do? I marched so much the other day, I had to turn off.
Okay.
I had bad leg.
Okay, you're a good man. Well, I thank you. And if you come up with any other good reasons as to why they should reduce their salary, please let me know. Okay?
That's why they got to reduce it, because of the VAT for the poor people. They can't reduce the VAT. They're saying they don't know the income coming. The income coming from the MPs. They get their money to do stuff for constituency every year. And what they do for the constituency is for the people. Nothing.
Well, listen.
Where that money is go?
That changed now. You're talking about the PLP. This the FNM. And what time is it?
It's the people's time, I think. I ain't too sure.
Well, we shall see, or we will keep the torch under their foot. Take it care. Do I have another person on the line? Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello.
What's on your mind?
This Mr. Moncur?
Yes, I am.
How are you, Senator?
Listen, I'm angry.
How are you?
I'm angry.
You don't need to be angry, because guess what? You see how nice, you see how brown skin and fine looking you look.
You really think so at 60?
I just call you to look how, because I like that pretty brown you have.
Wow. I thank you.
Now listen to this, what I want you to know, and I am very, very, very serious.
Okay, let me hear you.
I want you to please give, because we love you, give us do out a bank account. Listen to me. And just give you a bank account so we could go and put money. Listen to me. We can go and put money on that account for you once we get the thing up, and you could just wear your shirts and look fine on there for us. We're going to keep you going tonight. We all want to do it. If you do it, you'll be amazed. We'll just go on the account and put the money.
I like that idea because
I please, I wish you could. You're not, watch us now. You're not asking us. Let me talk. You're not asking us for nothing. You are not asking nobody for nothing. It's what we want to do for you.
Okay.
And sometimes you try it. Give whatever how we could do it. Put an account so we could go and put money there for you, so you could look fine with your brown skin hair.
Well, listen, I'm flattered, and guess what? I was going through a spiritual moment. Guess what I need? I need a big office. I want to do some socio-economic and political work, and I have a vision of a big office where thousands of people will come, so I can, defend them. What you think about that? Are you willing to help to secure a big office?
Do what we want you to do.
Okay. Well, I'll go and see the people at Commonwealth Bank. Oh, Jesus, that's Brent.
And you'll be amazed once we put the money.
Okay, I'll talk to Commonwealth tomorrow. Okay? All right, then. I thank you for that suggestion.
Okay, and then I can call you tomorrow.
Uh-huh. Okay, you can call me tomorrow. But listen, in the meantime, I'm looking for a polka dot bow tie like what Pindon used to wear. You heard me? She's not listening to
you. Okay,
you.
a polka dot bow tie, necktie.
No.
Bow tie?
Pindon had a special bow tie. I want one of them. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you take good care, sister.
Well, if I can look for it, and I hope that's it for you.
You'll find it and let me know. Take good care.
All right, son.
God save the Queen. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Are you there? Don't listen to the TV.
Hello?
Sir?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Speak.
Yes?
Yes?
Hello?
Speak to me. Speak to me. I can hear you.
Yes, Debbie?
Yes, sir.
Debbie?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Rodney, how you doing today?
I am fine. How are you?
That's wonderful, man.
Go ahead, talk. Don't listen to the TV in the
Man,
background.
you handle that banner very well on Labor Day, man. You are professional. I was looking at you. Next time, I'm going to use that banner myself.
Listen, I want the PLP to bring me on as a consultant to help to show the young people how to organize marches and demonstrations. Okay? So talk to the leadership. I want to come in and teach the philosophy of marching and demonstration. Okay? Take good care. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Senator.
Good afternoon, my dear.
Good afternoon to you, the Spiritual Advisor. I want you to know that you're not on Island Luck TV. It's been off all on Float TV. You're not on. We got to pick you up live on Facebook. You heard me?
Let me hear what this woman's saying. You say I'm not on Float TV?
No, it's been off from 4 o'clock. You've not been on. It's
Goodness
not on.
of
I
mercy.
can pick up Channel 10 News, Judge Judy, but you're not. It was not on. I don't know what is happening. I don't know what's wrong with these things. I don't know what happened.
What about cable?
I can't catch TV. I only can catch you Float TV on my phone, but I can pick up all them other channels besides 1, 2. I don't know what's happening. You got to check what's happening.
This must be witchcraft.
Lie or what?
This must be witchcraft.
No, it's not.
Spiritual Advisor.
They say that BTC is down.
This is
BTC
witchcraft.
is down, but I can get every other channel.
How come
Float
she get?
TV Live.
How she can get every
I
other
have
channel?
my phone on in front of me, and I checked the channels, and they were coming in. So I don't know what's the problem.
Well, when Leon came back from London, I saw him on Labor Day, and he told me he was going to London.
Okay, well, anyway, don't let them upset you. The budget debate start tomorrow. We got to be tuning to hear what is going to happen and who's going to say what. We got to be tuned into the debate.
Well, I giving you an assignment. I want you to see what all they got for the woman them. I expect.
Anyway, we listen to here.
Listen to me. I expect falls here. Right? Because the woman them love, they're here.
Well, I hear they brought down something but shrimp and marmalade and jam. The human people over there, they need to bring in, they need to reduce the duty on vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, mixed veg. Nobody need no marmalade and jam and things.
They say marmalade? Yeah. Anyway, we're going to curse them out. We'll listen to what they say tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir. Be encouraged now. You and the spiritual advisor, take care.
Yeah, you too, ma'am.
The #1 show in town.
I thank you very much.
All right.
Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
How are you, Mr. Monka?
Listen, I'm angry.
Oh, again, Mr. Monka?
Yes, because the people that ain't saved.
Ah, they need to get saved.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
Good evening, spiritual advisor.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
Mr. Monka, I have an observation.
Okay.
I've been watching this now for the past 6 weeks.
Okay.
It's concerning Mr. De Aguilar, one of his wash houses, the one that is situated on the Sir Charles Sanders Highway.
Okay, that must be that new one with Bishop Simeon Hall case.
Right.
You remember there was a church there and they broke down the church?
Right there.
And Simeon Hall went there and cursed it. Go ahead.
Okay, but let me tell you what happened.
What happened?
Okay. Now, prior to the, I guess that while the camping was going on and stuff like that, that washers used to be packed to capacity.
Really?
You couldn't get a parking space, and you would wait on washers and dryers. But the last 6 weeks, that place is empty.
You think so?
I'm telling you, empty. You could play soccer in that place, a soccer ball game in that place.
I got
and the workers, they don't look very well about that.
Really?
Yes.
I'm going to have to go and check it. I got some dirty clothes.
Go there and check it out.
And I shall go there and see, because I don't intend to pay him no more, When I go there, I'm going to tell them it's the people's time.
It's the people's time?
Yeah.
Right.
But only make it
tell
good now.
Business have dropped for him up there. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. If he's been boycotted or what, I don't know.
Well, I'll check it. I'm going to go and do some washing and see what's going on, okay?
Yeah.
Anything else on your mind?
Well, I watched the march, and it was very, very, I was marching right home in my house, but I couldn't come out. But, Mr. Monka, that was,
it was powerful.
It made my heart leap
for
to
joy.
see that you was out there, just leading the PLPs.
Yes.
And the people at large, rallying.
I'm going to rally them.
Yeah, rally them up and everything, because we have to hold the fire to these F&M feet,
Of course.
You can't just let them sit in the parliament and burn all day, burn up everything.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't burn up everything all day.
But
spiritual advisor, we can't let them burn up everything.
Pardon me?
I said spiritual advisor, we can't let them burn up everything.
All right.
Not because they get 30, how much 35?
They got 35.
And the people they get 4.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
Well,
David slayed Goliath.
Who slayed Goliath?
David.
Powerful, my sister. You take good care, eh?
Yes, you too.
Forward march. Do I have any more people on the phone? Well,
let me read some texts.
Well, my spiritual advisor, do you have any texts from my people, the Negro people? Listen,
what's up text, actually?
I want some Conky Joes to call me as well. Okay? What do we have here?
Mr. Monka, I went to road traffic at the sports center today to collect my license plate and nearly fell out as the place was too hot. No air conditioning, no fans, and it's the people's time. I would like to see if it was their time. I'm watching you on channel 224 and it's clear.
Well, I thank you. Listen, we're going to have to curse them out. Frankie Campbell is the new man. I had always wanted him in immigration because I believe my people, the Haitian people, would have better chance with Frankie because, Frankie is half-breed.
Good afternoon. I'm tuning in from Broward County, Florida.
Really? Well, welcome, Florida. Don't forget, most of y'all in Florida are Bahamians. We, from the Bahamas, helped build Florida. Go ahead.
Mr. Senator, the spiritual advisor talking about the Treasury broke. It ain't broke to give him contract. You need to fire spiritual advisor.
Oh, no, this is a man of God. I can't fire him.
Senator, I can't wait for you to come on to the best talk show. Hope I'm reading that correctly. Let's go to this next. RBC in Bimini is open only 3 days a week after OB helped Bimini's economy skyrocket to one of the most successful island economy in the Bahamas. PLP is getting undermined by private institutions to make them look bad before elections.
Wow. What else do we have, my spiritual advisor?
The rich people's budget. Let them eat cake or salmon. After examination of the budget communication by the new Minister of Finance, Peter Tanquist, on behalf of the new FN administration, it is clearly a budget which favors the rich, but does very little for the small man. In their latest campaign promise bait and switch, the FNM has moved away from reducing duties on bread basket items and instead decided to reduce duties on much-needed goods and foods like salmon, cakes, extra machines, and gym equipment. The FNM has backed away from its pledge to reduce value-added tax on core items and services. Similarly, they have also backed away from the inner city tax initiative, which was supposed to be a hallmark of their government. That promise, however, was unsustainable, as suggested by the IMF, another analysis prior to the election. This is a very long, I can't continue to read that one.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Hold on.
If
Good morning, Mr. Monica. Hope you had a happy holiday. Morning, sir. Doing a good job. Keep it up.
Thank you. Go ahead, spiritual advisor, read.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through. Good evening, Mr. Monica. I'm having a serious problem with some land that my father left on Nicholstown, Andros, for me and my sister. The family that lives there is fighting me, and it's nothing to do with them. Please, I need your help. Please call me. Some land issue.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Here we go. Ministers, wow.
Go ahead, my
Where's the fact that the treasury is broke? Let them show the people. The budget communication did not outline that. Rodney is right.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monica, tell the FNM woman go and take her pills. All right, no, I can't do that.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, and let me see if any texts.
Check, see if you see any text.
Text. Join the Ronald Folks Labor Day Parade. Parade Day is Windsor Park at 8 a.m. sharp. Is that an old text?
Well, obviously it's an old one since Labor Day was on Friday.
Good day, Mr. Monica. What is so sad that the government only noticed the police, Defense Force, Immigration, Customs Department? They need to look at the civil aviation firemen who gave them all. Sorry, they need to look at the civil aviation firemen who gave all in during the time when they were flying to the different islands for rallies and were not paid overtime for keeping lights on at the various airports. It is unfair. That's it. Sorry. Good evening, Mr. Monica. Good evening, Rodney Monica. The caller from Freeport is just another salty PLP. If they told her to check the papers, she need to check the papers to get the information before passing judgment. Goodness me. These Negroes. Anyhow, FNM is in charge. Deal with it. Do you still want a large wave to destroy Burma? No. We don't want no wave.
My spiritual advisor, is that a question to me? You must put all question that is to me.
The government borrowed $772
Let's take this caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello? They're gone. Because I'm not hearing anything. Anyway, you tell the caller to hold on because the clock is running out. Tell them to hold on. I'll take them when we come back. When I return, there is a caller on the line. But as I challenge the PLP, they got to hire a couple of mail boat because we got to go down to Mangrove Key to tell those people from the continent of the late Clarence A. Bain. You got to thank them for standing and voting PLP. Crab Fest. When is Crab Fest? I want to go to Crab Fest, Peaceful Forbes. Because I want to see you thank the people there. This is Freedom March, and the PLP must return to the base. I'll be right back, and I'll take the calls when I return.
Do you have something to say to the Senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Bahamas. And of course, I'm joined by my personal spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome once again. I understand we have a phone call. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Monka. How are you today?
I am fine, but a little
Good
angry.
afternoon to you and the spiritual advisor.
Hi, how you doing?
Mr. Monka, they are saying that the treasury is broke, right?
Yes.
There's about 1 million cars in this little island. VAT get collect every day from every store and every little liquor crony of this island. Tell me, I mightn't be as smart as you or the rest of them, but tell me how in the world could the treasury be broke? Government employees got to get paid. Everybody, all this still going on. Ain't nothing changed now. Everything's still going on as planned. People have to get paid and all that. And you're still paying VAT every day.
Well, you have to
when
understand.
they collect that VAT, where that VAT goes?
Well, we now have to ask them what happened to the VAT. Don't forget now, the F&M is led by people who are not safe. They're not safe. If they were safe, Menace, as a safe man, would not have deliberately misled the country by suggesting that Christie and the PLP steal the money. Menace is not
I
safe.
understand that.
Peter Tanquist, he's not safe. Michael
he's
Pintard,
not safe.
Michael ain't safe.
He's not safe at all. And the spiritual advisor is sitting right there. He needs to fast and pray for them so they can tell the truth. Because this country is not broke.
It's not broke.
This is a rich country. We are not
let's
broke.
assume that it's broke. Menace will get us $720 million shortly.
Right,
Yeah.
and they're borrowing all that money. So make sure when the cookie jar, when that reach, all them get their portion too. So tell them, stop lying on my people. Because my people, I blame my people them, because if I was there, I'd get mine too.
Oh, no. You must never steal from the treasury.
No, that's unfair.
Because
Thank you. How could you steal from the treasury?
Well, let me tell you how. Remember, Warren McCartney, his daddy, robbed the public treasury, and Warren them didn't know
That's
that I
not true.
remember. And years later, I throw it in their face. Say, I know all who robbed the treasury. Because once they rob the treasury, I always go there by the court. Okay? So don't ever rob the treasury. You take it care.
Yeah, you too, Mr. Monka.
God save the Queen. Do I have
God
more
save the
Negroes
Queen.
on the phone? Hello? Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello?
Hello, my dear. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm well, and you?
Well, I'm angry, but talk to me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I'm so happy to be talking to you, Mr. Monk. I'm a first-time caller. I am hooked on your show. I heard you on the radio a few times in the past months, but I started watching you on Channel 224 about a week ago, and I am hooked. I can't wait for 4:30.
Wow. Well, I thank you. We actually
I just want to encourage
at
you
4
to
o'clock.
continue to set your face.
Go ahead.
Hello?
I'm listening. Speak.
I just want to encourage you to continue to set your face as flint. And, you know, the Word of God says, do not call good evil and evil good. And so we must look past this PLP and F&M persuasion and just remember that we're first children of God. And
Yes.
this Bahamas belongs to God. And secondly, we're Bahamians.
Yes.
Look
Yes.
past color. And if something is wrong, say it's wrong and let's work together to fix it.
Yes.
But you just be encouraged, and
thank you.
I am loving this show. God bless.
I thank you very much, and indeed, I am honored and flattered. I thank you. Do I have more calls? Anybody else? my spiritual advisor, tomorrow I want to look at Alison Maynard, because I think Alison has committed some sins. And I want to deal with her politically, because this morning at about 3 a.m., it was like I was wrestling with her spirit. And I heard a voice said to me, rebuke Alison. So
you heard a voice.
Yes.
That said to you,
rebuke her.
Rebuke
and
Alison.
So I'm going to rebuke Alison. And if anybody know where Mrs. Alison Maynard Gibson is, you tell her to get to the front of the TV about 10 to 4. Because I have to speak to Alison, because there are some sins that Alison has committed. And while I was in the Senate, I was like a voice crying out in the wilderness to Alison, and she refused to listen. So I have to deal with Alison to...
I saw her last week, Thursday, actually.
You saw her?
Yeah.
Well, if you see her tomorrow, tell her to join me, because I'm overcome in the spirit. And Alison, I have to rebuke you, because I told you that you were doing some wrong things and you didn't listen. You caused the PLP to get a bad name. And I have to now ask Carl Bettel to straighten up a mess that I told you to straighten up and you wouldn't listen. Man, you all woman hate hard, man.
What I think you should do, though, is try to see if you could contact her and speak with her one-on-one. Rather than make a public spectacle.
Oh, no. Her sins were public.
Well, listen, that's not the right way to do things,
my
Senator.
spiritual advisor, her sins were public. They were political and they were public.
Yeah, but you still deal with her one-on-one.
I can't deal with her one-on-one. Yeah. That's a lot of women to deal with.
Why throw her out into the public like that?
How you mean? She's issuing statements all over the place. And I have to rebuke her because she has sinned. All right? And look what she's caused. I now got to tell Carl Bettel to correct it. And it hurts me to have to tell him that. You follow? So tomorrow, it's Alison Day. I'm going to look at her and I'm going to rebuke Alison because she has sinned. All right? How'd it sound?
Let me read a couple of texts.
Read some text, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monk, the FNM is here for the next 5 years.
Okay.
Get a life. God save the Queen.
God save the Queen. Now that Negro is a King George III Negro. Go ahead.
Hi, Senator. Abaco is listening. Keep up the good work. I heard you have roots in Abaco.
Listen, we're from Green Title Key.
That makes me so proud of you that you stand up for the small man. God bless you.
I thank you.
And please, Mr. Monk, speak up. Speak on free university education for all Bahamians.
Let me tell you, Menace will not live this down. When I finish with him, he will give us free university.
Mr. Monk, the members of Parliament wives did not declare their income as the Parliamentary Procedure Code 37-1.
Well, the women them are very disobedient, some of these women them. What you want the MP to do? Beat them? That'd be against the law. And it'd be scandalous. Okay?
Mr. Monka, what is your take on Glennis or Brave leading the PLP? What's your take on that? What Papa is saying about that?
Papa asked me prior to the general election to conduct a forensic investigation and examination on Philip Brave Davis. And every time I couldn't find anything, I returned to Papa and I said, Papa, I can't find nothing. Papa would direct me to other areas of the society. And when it was all over, I could not find his footprint nor his fingerprint. And I declare him to be a just man, a good man. So
there's none good except God alone, eh?
Well, my spiritual advisor, we were talking in a political sense.
Political sense. All right.
And so I support Philip Brave Davis as leader of the Progressive Liberal Party and Bradley Roberts for chairman. Next.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka. Could you please come down to Freeport, Grand Bahama and organize a march at the office of the Prime Minister and Mr. Kwesi Thompson, who is holding up on the vouchers to repair homes while we suffer? We gave them 5 seats in Grand Bahama. They need to fix that because we did not forget them. Please do not forget us in Grand Bahama.
Grand Bahama, I would like to come, but I'm afraid of plane. And I don't know if any mail boat go down there. So if you can send me a mail boat ticket, I'll be more than happy to come down. Freeport, welcome to Freedom March.
Mr. Monko.
Sir.
How you doing?
I'm fine. What's happening?
All right. I happy to have you on the line because I watch your show every day. You are the best in the world.
Wow. Mine,
yes.
Don't flatter me too much.
Huh?
Don't flatter me too much. You can cost me sin.
No.
Okay?
No, but it's the truth because what happened, I have some issues here in Freeport with I had a boat and I used to run from Nassau to Haiti.
Really?
Yeah, and what happened, I was doing that for 7 years.
Okay.
So the DA, they bought my boat and
DA?
they drill holes in the boat.
Who's DA?
And the boat sink.
Hold on a second. Who DA? Who's DA?
The DA, the United States DA, because the defense, the DU called them to come and put a search on the boat.
Go ahead.
The boats.
You're saying that. Hold on a second. You're saying that the Drug Enforcement Unit,
the DEA.
The DA.
The DEA, the Drug Enforcement Unit.
Of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where did they bore hole in your boat? In the Bahamas?
Yeah, in the Bahamas, in Inagua.
They come down to Inagua and do that?
Yeah.
Hold on. Where was the Royal Bahamas Police Force when they did that?
Not on the water.
They was there, but not to the boat because they used to lock me up every evening.
Who used
me and my crew.
Who?
The defense, the DA used to carry us to the station every evening and lock us up.
Let's do this slowly.
They do this to me for 8 days.
Hold on a second. You are in Inagua and the United States Drug Enforcement Agency would lock you up? Is that
me and my crew, my Haitian crew.
The Drug Enforcement Agency of the United States of America?
Yes.
In Inagua?
Yeah, and they had the defense, they had the DU with them. And one of the DUs, it was two of them, and one of them said, boy, let me tell you something. Say, this guy, this other DU, in approval what he doing to me. Listen.
The Bahamian, hold on, because sovereignty is under attack. Hold on. You are saying to me that in Inagua, the American Drug Enforcement Agency would lock you up, and I want to know what the Bahamian Negro Police Force, where are they when this is taking place?
They was there. Even them told me, don't let this go like that because these guys, they putting a personal attack on me.
And the Bahamian police stand there, disagreed with that, and didn't arrest the Drug Enforcement Agency?
Mr. Monka, everybody in Inagua is so upset for the way those people do me 2 years ago because I had no money to hire no lawyer, and the time ran out. Even Brave Davis know about it. You understand?
Well, you must come to Nassau.
I had no money. Brave Davis heard about it, and I have no money to hire no lawyer, and I just get, I just couldn't do nothing.
But you have to come to Nassau so you could come on my show so I could find out what's going on. Because the drug...
when is a good time for that?
Listen, anytime you make it to Nassau.
Okay, good. Listen, I got all the papers. So I got the report from Inagua, from the police, customs, and immigration.
Okay.
Anyway, I got all the shebang.
Bring everything to me.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, who was in charge of the Bahamas when this happened?
Down in Inagua.
Who was it? Which party was government when this happened?
Oh, that was the party just gone.
The PLP?
Yeah.
Well, you bring it to me. I'm the justice of the peace.
And I just vote for them too because,
Well, you bring it to me. Let me see it.
Yeah.
And I will tell the Americans that they are wrong because there's a question of sovereignty.
Yeah, a lot of lawyers told me, they say they didn't have to do it like that because if they
One of the problems that I'm faced with,
listen to me. The dogs and let the dogs sniff it out.
Listen to me. One of the problems that I'm faced with today in the District of New Providence came before me a Negro male who produced confidential information which would allow me to attack Marvin James. The problem I face is to attack Marvin would be hypocritical if I did not attack a Negro PLP who was working in collusion lawfully with Marvin. But you bring the document to me. Because I'm not afraid. I'm 60. I ain't smoke cocaine. I ain't smuggle. I ain't do none of them sin. Right. I'm not a drug dealer, and I can talk. And I don't want the Americans to be locking up anybody in the Bahamas without the permission of the government of the Bahamas.
Well, they
sovereignty. Goodness me.
They told me if I don't like what they do to me, take it up with the government of the Bahamas, because the government got them in there doing all these hideous things to the citizens.
Well, let's find out. You bring all the evidence to me.
Yeah, and I can call you when I come in, so you could be on point, and we'll meet. Okay.
Okay. Now I want to say one more thing to you now.
Yeah.
I'm a justice of the peace, and you have to be honest with me now.
Go ahead.
Because the Americans got big computer, and they put your name in the computer. You follow?
Yeah.
But have no fear. I shall defend the sovereignty of the country, because in 2006.
Okay.
When you come, call me.
Okay.
Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hello?
I'm listening.
Mr. Mankar?
Yes?
How are you?
I
am fine. I'm a first-time caller from Freeport.
You're from Freeport. Welcome. Are you being treated good in Freeport?
I enjoy your show very much.
Well, I thank you.
A beautiful job.
I thank you. I thank you.
Yes, sir. And I want you to get on Crazy Thompson and those. I'm sitting in my room. My roof is leaking.
Really? And Crazy Thompson wouldn't do nothing for you?
They already got my vouchers, and I'm waiting on my material. Tell them, hurry on.
I will tell them. Crazy Thompson, these are black people.
Yes, sir.
Are you black?
I want you to know I'm a strong PLP.
Don't let Crazy know it.
Yes.
But be proud.
So you keep up the good works. You're your spiritual advisor.
But let me test you. You said you was PLP? Are you a PLP? She's gone.
No, she's still there.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me test you then, because I have...
Yes, sir.
Well, listen to me carefully. I have the test.
Uh-huh.
PLP!
All the way.
PLP!
All the way.
Yeah, use a PLP. Go.
All the way.
Go and...
All the way.
Yeah, use PLP.
Yes, sir.
They passed the test. These are PLPs. Take it care, my love.
Have a good afternoon.
Okay. Listen, Marvin Dames, I know what you did in 2006. I only case you out because there are some PLPs who I know were involved. I want you to protect the sovereignty of the country. Okay? Don't mind America's the most powerful nation on God's earth. Once you stick to godly principle, once the country does the right thing, you can speak. See, you may not be aware. There is a defense force in the government of the Bahamas. I got the dossier now. The defense force told me what happened, how the Haitians were drowned when the U.S. Coast Guard came up close. Tommy Tainquest was the Minister of National Security. And every Friday, Tommy had a secret location that he went. And I went there and I confront him. And when he denied it, I threw the facts on him. And I went to the United States ambassador. And I called him on the side. I said to him, I didn't want too many people to know what I was saying to you because this is secret. And I pulled him towards me, and when he came, I said, listen, the defense force told me how the U.S. Coast Guard drowned the Haitians. And I don't like that. I think that is wrong. And he said to me it was not true. Well, I wasn't going to argue with him because he represented the most powerful country on God's earth. I just let him know I didn't like what happened. And I told him, I said, now, I hear what you say, but I know Tommy Tainquest is covering it up. But I want you and Tommy to know that the defense force told me, and I don't like it. And in future, when the U.S. Coast Guard come, don't frighten the Haitian to cause them to run to one side of the boat and get drowned. Because it isn't right. Tout le monde haïtien, yon dit, yon defense force là a vini, na toi et moi, pour expliquer l'air U.S. Coast Guard a vini. Bateau ak haïtien couleur And tout le monde haïtien a nagé. OK? Et les moi aller pour parler avec Tommy Tinquest, il dit c'est pas vrai. M'a connaît Tommy menti. Et les moi fini parler avec Tommy, m'aller pour parler avec ambassadeur responsable pour US Embassy. M'a parlé, moi dit lui, Defense Force là, expliquez ça pour moi. Et m'a demandé, les US Coast Guard a venu, pas créer de problème pour tout peuple haïtien, pour bateau, pour couler. Oh boy, I have all kind of battles and all kind of memories. I want the US to know that I know there's a superpower, but please allow us to play sovereignty in the Bahamas, right? Allow us to play sovereignty. If you want to lock up some of us, get permission from the police force. And y'all was wrong to bow hole in a man boat. Don't do that, all right? See, the rest of the Bahamians, they're afraid to talk to y'all, but I'm not afraid. Guess why? I have never smoked dope in my life. You hear me? Because my brother told me, if he ever catch me smoking dope or drinking rum, he will kick me. And I said to him, Uncle, I ain't gonna smoke no dope and I ain't gonna drink no rum. So I could talk. Because while everybody was smuggling drugs in the 80s, I was marching against Penland and the PLP. So I'm not afraid to talk. Plus, I'm safe. Now, y'all stop treating my people like that in the Bahamas, okay? Stop it, man. I want to feel like it's a sovereign country. I know y'all got big bombs and y'all could beat us, but, you know, treat us with dignity. Plus, I support President Trump. I believe God sent him to make America great. And once Trump make America great, guess what's going to happen, my spiritual advisor?
What's going to happen? We will be greater?
We will be greater. Okay? And for those of you who are in the fishing business, please stop smuggling drugs. Please stop smuggling, because the Americans could see in the sky.
Yeah, get the facts first, though, okay?
Listen to me.
Have an interview with the young man. Sit down with
Listen,
him. Let him present all
I know when Marvin was a part of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and they kidnapped the baggage handlers. I know about that, you know. I pick it and I said, send the boys home.
Those baggage handlers went to the United States on their own free will, you know.
That is not true.
Yeah?
That is not true.
So how did they get there?
That's not true.
How did they get there?
Let's leave that alone, because there are some PLPs who name I would have to curse out.
Listen, the bottom
line.
But
Marvin knows that I know.
The bottom line
right?
is this, Mr. Monka.
Send the boys home.
Stay away from drugs. Don't smuggle drugs.
There's a caller on the line. Spiritual advisor, I'm 60.
Yeah, don't smuggle
And at
drugs.
60, I believe that smoking dope is a sin. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello, Volker, what's going on?
Listen, I'm angry.
Man, don't say things like that.
Like what?
Have life. Don't be
life?
angry every day. Have life, man.
Okay, speak to me.
There's a serious thing going on in Inagua when it comes to drugs.
Tell me about it.
Patients.
Tell me about it.
And the U.S. have all the rights to go down there and to see what's going on, because we have Haitians really coming into our shores.
Be careful now. Say it softly. What you say the Haitians are doing?
They're coming into our shores with sailboats, big-time vessels, and bringing in cocaine.
Haitians?
And we have to watch out for that.
Okay.
You know, because it will affect our country. It's been affecting our country from Pitland days.
And you're saying my people, the Haitians, are bringing drugs into Inagua?
Of course.
And what evidence?
Doesn't know that?
What evidence do you have?
Ma, listen, they had something on ZNS where the vessels, where the Haitians, it's an area where the Haitians is just park their boat, leave their boat for weeks, come back, bring a next set of drugs. That's why you have so much of these drug buses going to some of these family islands like Andres, like Bimini, going into the Exuma Keys.
Well, I'm going to have to speak to them. Call me back tomorrow because the clock is running out on me. So call me back tomorrow. I'm interested in that, and time is running out on me. Call me back, please. Tout le monde haïtien, ça y entende anglais dit. Il dit, tout le monde haïtien porte en pile drogue sorti Haïti na inagua. Ma basement nous pour stop it. Parce que si American Kembe nous, l'aller na prison. Okay? I just told my people, the Haitian people, to stop it because the Americans will jail you. And I scared a plane. If you all get locked up, I'll never see y'all. Because I'm afraid of plane. My spiritual advisor, it is interesting that...
Yeah, some very serious information coming.
Yes. But I'm curious because Marvin is the Minister of National Security. And there's a state of calmness over the country. As they murder, ministers calm. As sovereignty is challenged, ministers calm. But in all things, let's give God thanks. Spiritual advisor, if it is God's will, will you join me again tomorrow?
If it's the Lord's will, that's very important.
If it is the Lord's will.
Absolutely.
Listen, drugs are illegal. Don't bring no drugs into the Bahamas to carry to America because the Americans don't want no drugs.
Absolutely.
Although they are some of the world's greatest drug users. But they're powerful. They got atomic bomb. They can see in the sky and so forth. Look, folks, join me tomorrow. There's a lot of things to talk about. And my spiritual advisor, we got a lot of things to talk about. All right? So take good care. And I'll talk about the shadow ministry of the PLP tomorrow and other topics. So take good care. God save the Queen. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.